Chapter 6. Kane 2. Alright. Let me just double check one more thing. Just want to check how pronounced my double chin is. Okay, it's not so bad. Alright. And then, I jump up from my bed. I suck in air. That was just a dream. Hugging myself, I tried to control my breathing. My body's still all here, and there are no burn marks on my skin. I feel my back with my fingers. It's wet. All this sweat. I speak as if it's happening to someone else. My entire body is drenched in sweat, as if someone covered me in water. That dream. Even after I woke up from it, sweat pours from my forehead. I feel terrible. I get up from bed and suppress the urge to vomit. Walking towards the window, the wind calms me down a little bit. What a dream. Recalling the dream, I check both my hands. There isn't any blood on my hands. Well, of course. That was just a dream, so I wasn't covered in blood, nor did I suck any blood. But yesterday morning, what did I do? Didn't I take my hands drenched in red paint, while trying not to let anyone see them, and wash them clean? You and I are the same, Shiki-kun. That's what she said. I can't remember that well. Tohno was bit by her. I can't remember that well. If there's a habit of drinking blood, I can't think well. It spreads by being bitten. No! I sweep away the dark passions in my brain. But that dream doesn't disappear. There was a me that killed someone. There's a problem. Even though it's in my dreams, I killed someone and didn't feel any guilt. All I did was kill naturally and watch. That's abnormal. Inside my dreams, I wasn't sane. That's different from this me right now. But that's a dream that Tohno saw. So, even that insane Tohno has to be me. No. And the Arcueid that came to punish me. It might be a dream, but for some reason, I feel like it's a glimpse of the future and start to get nauseous. I hear a knock at the door. Excuse me, Shiki-sama? Are you already awake? Yeah, I just had a bit of a bad dream, so I just woke up. Thank goodness. I sweated a lot, so I wanted to change quickly. As usual, Hisui has prepared my uniform. I draw nearer to her to get them, and I get real dizzy. Shiki-sama? I can hear her voice. I sense her coming closer, and raise my hand to stop her. I'm fine. I was just a little dizzy. I'll be fine in a bit. Taking a deep breath, I focus on my heart's rhythm. I wait for the blood to stop pounding in my head. See? All better. I say this with my best attempt at a bright smile to calm Hisui's worries. But I guess I failed. Shiki-sama, please do not overexert yourself. Smiling with a face like that troubles me. Hisui says this with a pained expression. I think this is the first time I've seen her show emotion like this. No, that's not true. If I recall in detail, Hisui just looks expressionless, but you can see her emotions if you study her face. I think she shows her feelings too much, so that when I compare her to that girl standing by the window, I feel a big contradiction. Shiki-sama, are you feeling bad after all? No, that's not it, Hisui. I just found it surprising. You've changed a lot since back then. I think you're more cheerful than the time that, when you were just watching us. Is that so? I think your memory is mistaken. Hisui averts her gaze. Yeah. She's different from the quiet, doll-like Hisui from my memory. More importantly, Shiki-sama, are you really feeling well? Yeah, I'm fine. Speaking with you made me feel better. I understand. But Shiki-sama, I think you need to see a doctor. It seems like you're not feeling well since you came back to the mansion. Well, that's true. What's this? You're saying the same thing as Kohaku-san. You sound like it would have been better if I never came back. I meant that as a joke. Yes. Ne-san and I share that same view. What? For an instant, my vision flickers. I can't even speak. I came back to fulfill the promise. But that... the one who gave the ribbon disagrees. Hisui, you say that? Who do you think I came to the mansion for? No. Shiki-sama, you came back here for your own sake. Therefore, there's no need to be bound by any promise from the past. There's still time. You decided for yourself to come here. So you can decide on your own to become free at any time. Hisui places my uniform on the desk and walks away. Excuse me. Please forgive my rudeness. Hisui leaves. Left alone, my chest hurts for some reason. I'm not angry at her. No, I can only feel apologetic. There's no need to be bound by a promise from the past. The promise Hisui doesn't seem to care about. The promise that was very important to me. Even when she tells me directly this difference, I feel no anger. The reason is obvious. Hisui, why did you look like you were going to cry? Because of that, I could not blame her. There isn't anyone in the sitting room. Neither Akiha, who usually has already finished eating by now, nor Hisui, who usually stands like a statue by the wall, are there. Oh, good morning, Shiki-san. You're up early today again. Yeah. Morning, Kohaku-san. Greeting her, I glance around the sitting room. It bothers me that they're not there. Kohaku-san, has Akiha recovered since then? Yes. She's healthy now, so there's nothing to worry about. But she's feeling a little tired, so she'll be resting today. I see. Well, thank goodness it was nothing too bad. Yes. Maybe you should go see her. She probably wouldn't want you to see her when she just woke up, so she'll probably throw a pillow at you. Kohaku-san tells me indirectly to go have a fight with Akiha. Certainly, seeing Akiha panic so much that she would throw a pillow at me sounds fun. But after seeing that dream, I just don't think I can face her. No. I don't think I will. I don't feel good today, so I don't have the strength to fight her. I see. Akiha-sama also said you don't have to worry much about her, so you just go to school as usual. Oh, Shiki-san, did you do something to Hisui-chan? She stares. With a smile, Kohaku-san asks such a thing. Hisui-chan said she could not possibly see you today, so she locked herself up in her room. Something must have really happened in order to make her skip work like that, Shiki-san. Kohaku-san laughs with a frightening smile. Without a doubt, she must think I did something horrible to Hisui. What? I didn't do anything. If anything, she's the one that scolded me. Hisui-chan scolded you? No. Well, that's not it. It's just... she told me I shouldn't be too persistent over small things. Hisui-chan is doing some weird things. But I'm relieved. I was worried that you were going to be like Makihisa-sama. Huh? Like my old man? How? Kohaku-san looks away like she didn't mean to say that. No, it isn't anything. It's a trivial matter, so please do not worry about it. Hey, Kohaku-san. It makes me more curious if you say it like that. As for revenge for before, I stare at her. I understand. But keep this a secret from Akihisa-sama and Hisui-chan. It isn't too good to speak about Makihisa-sama. There isn't anything to hide about my old man, is there? Well, no, but it isn't a good story to talk about. You don't remember, Shiki-san? About Makihisa-sama's manic depression? Manic depression? Manic depression means that someone changes mood all of a sudden. From extreme happiness to utter despair, and vice versa. Yeah, well, I guess he was like that. He was very kind when he was kind, but he would get extremely angry over little things when he was in a bad mood. Yes, but it was still alright when you were here. But after you were adopted by the Arima family, his condition grew a lot worse. He would yell at Akiya-sama for no reason, and often abuse Hisui-chan. Wait a minute. I know my old man was strict, but he would never do such a... Like I said, this is after you left, Shiki-san. Day by day, Makihisa-sama's manic depression worsened. It was so bad, it was more like having two different personalities, rather than having manic depression. He'd be set off by the littlest things, but after he calmed down, he wouldn't even remember what he did. During that time, I was taking care of him, and Makihisa-sama told me, I have a violent me within myself. I cannot suppress it with my normal self, and when it appears, I go to sleep. Without reason, I want to destroy everything I see. Back then, it felt like I was watching a bad dream. Makihisa-sama passed away from illness, but the illness was worsened by the illness in his mind. Mental illnesses are a very difficult thing. So, I worried, thinking that you might have inherited some of that characteristic. It seems that everyone in the Tohno family has some sort of illness. But I guess I was worrying for no reason in your case. Because your illness is anemia, right? It's not like you can't control yourself like Makihisa-sama. Thank goodness. Kohaku-san smiles at me. No. I can't do it like that. I can't feel relieved and smile. Last night's dream. I lost over Akiha. Watching a dream of killing people as if it was natural. The insane Tonoshiki. It's already this late. I'll go prepare breakfast now. Kohaku-san disappears toward the dining room. I can only stare at her in shock. I ate breakfast, but I didn't taste anything. What Kohaku-san said about my old man kept circling in my head, and before I knew it, I was at the gate in front of the mansion. Shiki-san, you didn't forget anything. Hisui-chan is still in her room. Kohaku-san says as she sends me off. Gee, Shiki-san. The weather's so nice today, so you have to cheer up. I can't send you off when you look like that. Yeah. You're right. Sorry. I was just thinking about some things. Giving my head a little shake, I banished the shadows in my mind. Ah, now that's more like the normal Shiki-san. Yes, I can relax now. That's odd. Seeing that smile, I really do feel better. Goodbye, Shiki-san. I'll be waiting for your return. Kohaku-san bows. With that, all of my worries seem to disappear. Thanks, Kohaku-san. I feel better already. Excuse me. Yes, a bright face suits you better, Shiki-san. Thanks. Well then, I'm off, Kohaku-san. Thanking her from the bottom of my heart, I run down the road to school. This just tastes like tap water. I arrive in the classroom with more time to spare than usual. Arihiko is late as usual, so I can wait quietly for homeroom. I decide to sit in my seat in the noisy classroom and wait for the teacher. The day passes without any trouble. Maybe he went on a trip. Arihiko didn't show up. Trip isn't a metaphor or anything. He does have this strange habit of spontaneously taking trips. It isn't anything cool like roaming the country on a motorcycle. He goes on sightseeing tours on weekdays with the old people. Jeez. I've known since elementary school, but I've never completely understood his hobbies. Yo, Arihiko sidequel when? I arrive at the mansion. What I didn't think about at school comes back into my mind. What Kohaku-san said about my old man's split personalities. The hereditary illnesses of the Tohno family. Like Hisui said, ever since I came back, there's been something wrong with me. It feels like my memories are vague about something. Like Kohaku-san said, I don't think I'm like my old man. But ever since I came back to this mansion, I no longer have full confidence in myself as Tonoshiki. Was my old man really that crazy? I do have a vague memory like that, but I can't say for sure. I understand that it's stupid of me to even be troubled by it, but still, I should probably know about the Tohno family. I'm back! I call out, but there's no response. Akiya is probably still resting in her room. Kohaku-san and Hisui are probably doing their jobs right now. Well then, come to think of it, this might be a good opportunity. I think last time I did this, right? But like, the way he phrases this, it's like I should go investigate Makihisa's room. But I feel like we did that already. Fuck it. Let's do it different this time. I'll go to my old man's room. I can't say for sure that I expect to find anything, but I might be able to investigate something about the Tohno lineage. Welcome back, Shiki-sama. And There's already someone in the old man's room. Hisui puts down the mountain of books she's carrying and bows. Hisui. She looks like she always does. I was uneasy about seeing her because of this morning, but it seems she's over it already. I deeply apologize for not being able to welcome you earlier. May I help you with anything? No, I just thought that I'd look around my old man's room. As long as I'm not in the way. Could I stay here a bit? Yes, but Akiha-sama has the keys to the locked shelves and drawers, so I cannot open them. Is that acceptable? Locked? Well, that's fine. I'm not really looking for anything in particular. Hisui tilts her head questioningly. I'll just look around myself, so please continue. I don't want to get in your way. As you wish. Well then, if you need anything, please call me. Hisui resumes cleaning the room. Well then, I should start too. I spend a little time searching the bookshelves, but I realize it's useless. The shelves are full of books, but nothing about the Tohno family. What I want to see is something like my family tree, or my old man's journal. I guess things like that are in here. I pull the drawers to my old man's desk. I feel it catch. But they're locked. If I want the key, I have to talk to Akiha. But from what Hisui says, I don't think she'll open them for me. Hisui isn't looking this way. There's a letter opener on the desk. This is convenient. Well, I might as well use what's given to me. Lowering my glasses a bit, I look at the desk. There. Without a sound, I cut the lock. There's only some papers. Inside the drawer is only a bundle of old papers. I pick up the sheet. What's this? The flowing script is difficult to read. My eyes come to the names Tohno Makihisa, followed by Tohno Shiki and Tohno Akiha. And after that, I see an unfamiliar name, Nanaya. Suddenly, for no reason, I see a vision of a dark forest. My vision thins. I feel the blood welling in the back of my head. Strength drains from my limbs, and I feel like I can't breathe. Why? Why is it so hard to breathe all of a sudden? It's not like anything happened. I didn't see anything. So why am I shaking like a small kid? Shiki-sama! Hisui. Hisui rushes over to me. Placing a hand on the bookcase, I somehow manage to stay standing. Shiki-sama! Please hold on, Shiki-sama! Hisui's voice is full of worry, but her hand does not touch me. I'm fine. I just got a little nauseous. Shiki-sama, please do not strain yourself. Please, have a seat and rest. Yeah, I'm fine. So, I managed to hold on to consciousness, but I'm still dizzy. In my flickering, red and black vision, white, I see her terribly warm neck. I'm captivated. If my body could move properly, I would seize Hisui's body and... The black vision from my anemia all of a sudden turns deep red. Hisui's white neck. Last night's crimson dream. The nighttime killing. Painful pleasure. As if my heart would rip itself out. Unable to bear it, I get away from Hisui. Shiki-sama! No, I'm fine. I'm fine. so leave me alone. I cannot do that when you look ill. Please do not strain yourself. Hisui draws close. She comes to support my collapsing body. This isn't good. This is bad. If she comes within reach of my hands, I'm afraid I don't know what I'll do. I'm fine. Leave me. Dizziness assails me. I feel faint, but that's fine. If I collapse, then I won't feel the urge to suck Hisui's blood. Hisui? About yesterday, Kohaku and Nisa... Akiha... Nisan? Why are you here? Akiha comes straight to me and snatches the Tohno family lineage away from me. Nisan, you broke the lock? Akiha stares at me angrily. Fighting my dizziness, can't look at her right. I see. It can't be helped if you saw it already. I'll let it go this time. But be prepared for a deserving punishment next time. Akiha then stares at Hisui. She looks like she almost hates Hisui. She looks like the Akiha in that dream. A gaze that looks close to malice and hatred. I feel almost burning heat emanating from her hair. My heart skips a beat. Was I hallucinating? For an instant, around to Akiha, I thought I saw something terrible. Hisui, what were you doing? Nisan's body is weak, so you have to at least take away his mental burden. But letting Nisan enter father's room, were you not thinking? I am deeply sorry. Be more careful from now on. I have to speak with Kohaku, so tell her to come to my room immediately. Akiha walks away. Shiki-sama, please return to your room. Your condition is not good, so please rest until dinner. Hisui says this, still looking down. You're right. I'll go to my room. Sorry, Hisui. Because of me, Akiha was mad at you. No, it was my fault. As Akiha says, you're still not used to this mansion. Until you're settled in, you should not enter this room. I don't know what to say. Still dizzy, I exit my old man's room. I eat dinner alone and go back to my room. I guess Akiha was still feeling poorly because she wasn't there. Lying down on my bed, I let out a big sigh. I must be tired. Recently, as soon as night falls, I fall into bed. Even though there are a lot of things I should think about, I feel like nothing concerns me, and I try to sleep. That's odd. I can't concentrate. I stare at the ceiling. My eyes start to close. Again, I don't think about anything and fall into a deep sleep. Burning. 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 My skin is burning. I can't sleep like this. I have to get up and drink some water. Good idea. The nighttime city. breathing out in warm gasps. I look at the people passing by. There are only 2 or 3 of them tonight. If possible, I want to find a lone girl who's about my age. Hot. I see my reflection in the mirror, breathing wildly. It looks like I'm running a high fever. Hot. I can't stand this burning. There. I don't need to get near her. I grab her from behind and make her pass out. I pick her up and take her with me. I start to smile. I endured it for so long, and now everything is over. I decide to do it here in the end. The reason is simple. Because this was the killer's lair. Burning. My breathing fills the air. Soon I can taste her. Then I start my meal. Biting into her neck, I suck the blood. It's unbelievably sweet. The sensation is really terrifying. If it's so sweet and feels so good, I may just become a captive to this sensation, in place of that killer. The night is deep. Above my head is the silver eye bearing witness to my sin. With blood-smeared lips, I look up at the night sky, with eyes full of amusement. Fluttering hair. Above is the spiraling sky. What a beautiful silver moon. Like a snake, watching the blood-sucking demon. That was a much shorter option than the Kohaku one. I'm actually going to create a separate save in case I want to go back to that. I leap out of my bed, unable to take it. Holding back the urge to vomit, I breathe like a beast. What was that just now? A dream. It was a dream. But what was that? It's different than what I saw 2 days ago. The feeling of walking the streets at night. The smell of blood lingering in my nose. The sound of pulling that girl who was close to my age. All of it is fresh in my memory. Was that something you could call pleasure? It was pure excitement, condensed like a bullet, fired straight into my head. My breathing stops just thinking about it. Then, perhaps that impact could be something called pleasure. Why did I... That kind of dream. I look down at my hands. Of course, they're pure white, without a trace of blood on them. But for an instant, I saw both of my hands covered in red. What? You too? Huh? This is the first time I've seen another killer besides myself. That's right. I did have that conversation. The same city doesn't need 2 killers. I'll give you this place. But when was that? Why can't I remember? Certainly. I feel like I had that conversation with someone. But I just can't remember. Was it real? Or was it just an empty dream? I just remember that the killer said I was the same as him. That's strange. Why is it all mixed up in my head? I earnestly try to remember about last night's dream. My head pounds. I can't remember. When I try to remember about yesterday, I feel the urge to vomit. I'm scared. I'm scared of the fact that I can't remember. It feels like a Tohno I don't know is killing people, and in order to hide it, is deceiving the Tohno that's me. And I sense someone in the hallway. "Who's there?" I call out. "Please excuse me," Hisui says as she enters the room. It's just a normal morning scene. Is it because she's acting so naturally? My pounding heart calms down immediately. "Good morning, Shiki-sama." "Hisui." "Yes, it is time, so I've prepared your change of clothes already. Shiki-sama, are you not feeling well?" "No, that's not it. I feel fine. There's nothing wrong." I get up from bed, as if to prove my words. "Morning, Hisui. I'll go to the sitting room after I change, so please go ahead of me." "Yes. Well then, please excuse me." Hisui quietly closes the door and leaves. After she leaves, I take a deep breath. Why am I feeling down like that? Probably because I found out about my old man's illness yesterday. Just because my symptoms are similar to his. Maybe I'm being too paranoid. Yeah. Ever since I came back, I've been so tired. I shouldn't think about that dream. Well then. It's almost 7. Like yesterday. I should be able to enjoy the morning. And then, unthinkingly, I step into the sitting room, and it hits me that I forgot something very important. Oh, crap. I swallow my words. Akiha, Hisui, and Kohaku are in the sitting room. Everything seems just like normal. But after the thing yesterday, I'm sure it'll be really uneasy. Akiha and Kohaku-san seem to have reached an understanding, but I haven't spoken with Akiha yet. Thinking how Akiha acted yesterday, I'm pretty sure Akiha's still mad at me. "Good morning, Nissan." Oh, fuck, I needed that. She hasn't said that in forever. Oh my god. "Did you sleep well?" Uh-huh. And Akiha greets me with a big smile. My mind freezes at such an unexpected event. Akiha still has a big smile as I just stand there. Akiha's way too cheerful, and it makes me think she's planning something. "Shiki-sama, would you care to sit down?" Yeah. If you want me to sit, I will." I fearfully look at Akiha as I sit down across from her. "Morning, Akiha. You seem to be in a good mood today." "Is that so? Certainly I feel much better, so I probably look less pale than before." No, it's far beyond not looking pale. "Anyway, first I have to thank you. I really wanted to thank you yesterday, but I was feeling rather ill and did not have the chance to." Akiha looks directly at me. There isn't even a trace of yesterday's coldness. It also seems that the air of danger has disappeared. "Thank me? I didn't really do anything to deserve that." "That's not true. You took care of me when I was sick, right? Because you embraced me, I was determined. I was extremely happy that night." She says something that catches me totally off guard. And then, I feel some heavy pressure against my back. I glance back. There, Hisui and Kohaku stare at me in a manner far different than usual. What the fuck's going on? What the fuck? Wait, hold on. What's going on? Akiha, don't say things like that might give people the wrong impression. You were in so much pain. I just supported you, that's all. Oh? I suppose wrapping your arms around me is just supporting me? Akiha giggles softly, staring. They're staring at me. The stares of the two behind me get even heavier. Now, look. You're acting odd. Are you enjoying making fun of me? Yes, a lot. Looking at your troubled face is fun. This is just too weird. Is this actually Akiha's personality? You have some strange hobbies. Bothering me in the morning and lecturing me last night. Well, I thought so at first. But you really must have something against me. I end with a sigh. All of a sudden, Akiha averts her gaze. I'm very sorry. What I did yesterday was stupid. There was something wrong with me, and I've already apologized to Hisui. You apologized to Hisui? I blurt this out in surprise. Not only did she apologize, but she apologized to Hisui. Hey, Nissan, just what kind of person do you think I am? I was at fault, so it's only natural that I apologize to Hisui, right? When she says that, I get a vague mental image of her acting as a strict mistress. Nissan, you're thinking of something bad, aren't you? She's sharp. As happy as she was, I didn't do anything to dull her sense of perception. Shiki-san, I hate to ruin your fun, but would you like some breakfast? It's almost time, so I thought I should make some. Oh, I forgot. I'm not so much hungry as I am thirsty, though. Oh, that won't do, Shiki-san. You collapsed yesterday, so you need to eat to regain your strength. Even if you don't feel like eating, you should eat some food. What she says is true. But I just don't feel like it right now. After seeing that dream, I can't bring myself to eat. Ne-san, if Shiki-sama does not feel well, I do not think you should force him. Hisui-chan, you're too indulgent when it comes to Shiki-san. Huh? Shiki-san, you're not feeling well again this morning? Kohaku-san stares at me. As if on cue, Hisui and Akiha add their serious stares as, Hisui and Kohaku add their serious stares on me as well. Oh, I completely misread that. Holy fuck. Because they're both on screen, but not Akiha. Okay. Let me try that again. As if on cue, Hisui and Akiha add their serious stares on me as well. I guess I really can't go on fooling myself. To tell the truth, I do feel a little under the weather. I can eat, but could you make it something that I don't need to chew? I feel pretty bad. I can't really taste anything. Uh-oh. After telling the truth, Kohaku-san says, "Oh, I see," and looks a little downcast. As the one in charge of cooking, she probably feels something about what I did. Excuse me. She probably feels something about what I said. Shiki-sama, I think you're not feeling well because there was a change in your environment. So, if the mansion is not suitable for you, maybe you should go back and live with the Arima family for a while. Hisui's opinion is driven by a sincere concern about my health. I can't imagine Akiha's gonna let that slide though, right? Ever since I came back, my life has been strange. Since that promise from 8 years ago has apparently been forgotten. Maybe it is better for my health if I go back to the Arimas. Yeah. That may be good, too. Although I've only been here for a week, if I don't seem to get used to this soon, I'll leave for a while and go regain my health. Well, that may be jumping the gun a little bit, I add. And then, suddenly, Akiha stands up from her sofa. Oh, that will not do, Nissan. You finally came back, so please do not leave again. If you say you're going to leave one more time, I will kill you, Nissan. Holy fuck! What the fuck? Okay. Alright, it's that kind of chapter. Akiha smiles as she says that joke, then disappears toward the lobby. Hisui-chan, it's time for Akiha to go to, it's time for Akiha-sama to go to school. Please accompany her to the door. I'll be taking care of Shiki-san's breakfast. With a simple yes, Akiha walks after... Sorry, other way around. Hisui walks after Akiha. Well then, I'll make something easy for you to eat. Please wait just a moment. Kohaku-san walks quickly toward the kitchen. I sit on the sofa, dumbstruck. I will kill you, Nissan. Those words don't leave my head. It's probably because even though it was a joke, it didn't sound like a joke to me. Noon arrives. Oh, he went to school anyway? I thought he was feeling under the weather. As usual, Arihiko is skipping school. I guess I'll go to the cafeteria. I don't feel like eating by myself here. Maybe if I go to the lively cafeteria, my appetite may pick up. So, are we gonna run into Seal Senpai at all? Because if capital S Shiki left town, that means what's his face? The bad guy. Roa. That means he also left town technically. So both Seal and Arcueid have absolutely no reason to be in Tsukihime town. So I guess they're not appearing in this route either, I guess. Didn't Seal was in Akiha's... No, yeah, Seal was in Akiha's route a little bit, I think. It's a shame that they don't use the characters more. Anyway, sorry. As expected, the cafeteria is full of people. After waiting in a long line, I buy the tried-and-true meal set A and walk to the table. Listening to the voices of everyone else, I begin to eat. And then, for a moment, I see a terrible image. Is it the television screen? I gape at the large television mounted on the wall at the end of the cafeteria. At my school, they record the morning news and replay it at lunch. I just stare dumbfounded at the news broadcast that's several hours late. No way! I watch the news in amazed horror. Shown in the television is the alley I saw in last night's dream. The newscaster is talking. On the screen, the words "Vampire Serial Killer's New Victim" appears in bloody lettering. It appears that the girl was saved. The girl is in the hospital recovering from having her blood drained. Wait! Fuck! She's alive? I think if we're assuming that this time, for sure, Shiki is the killer, he hit her from behind, so I don't think she can ID him. At least I don't think so. But that would be fucking crazy. If that would make this route awesome. If he was like a wanted man or some shit, that would be insane. She's still unconscious. Chances of recovery are unknown. The identity of who attacked and stole her blood is also unknown. The picture of the girl on the television is unmistakably that girl from last night. That means there's one thing that isn't unknown. The criminal who attacked her is, without a doubt. I start to feel faint. How come? That was a dream. It had to be a dream. But in reality, the same person in my dream had her blood sucked out the same way in my dream. That vampire should be gone already. I killed Yumizuka with my own hands. Those killings, they shouldn't be happening anymore. I killed? Yes, I killed. Just like the time when I killed Yumizuka. While breathing hard last night. That woman I never met. Didn't I tell you, Shiki-kun? It's useless to resist it. What the hell are you talking about? You're more of a killer than I am. Resisting the urge to throw up, I get up from my seat. I can't go back to class. I find myself running into the city. I come to the place I saw in my dream. There are several policemen around the area, and the tape reading "Police line do not cross" is stretched across the alley. Exactly the same. Without a doubt, this is the place I went to in my dream. No, it wasn't a dream. I can't delude myself into thinking it's a dream any longer. Even if I stay here longer, the cops will only stare at me. I can't go back to school now, so I guess I'll go back to the mansion. Since it's not even 2 o'clock yet, Hisui isn't waiting in the lobby. I can say I got lucky. I don't feel like seeing anyone right now. I glance at my reflection in the window. The pale face looks like a completely different Tohnoshiki. Myself that seems like another person. That dream that seemed like it belonged to another person. That which cannot be noticed. The traces of the killing that only remains in my memory. Dizziness. Before me, my vision goes black. No! I'm not the same as my old man! Desperately fending off the dizziness, I try to stay upright. My old man. I can go to my old man's room, and I can find out about his illness. If I do that, I can confirm that I'm not the same. If I am the same, there might be a way to help myself. His room is on the first floor in the western part of the mansion, next to Kohaku-san's room. It was fortunate that I left school early. At this time, no one else is around. I pull out my knife and take off my glasses. I try to cut the line of the door's lock and put my glasses back on. The room was not locked. My old man's room is just like it always was. Nearly all the rows of books are educational reports, and nothing catches my attention. What I want right now is my old man's journal or notes. The old man was extremely methodical. There certainly has to be something like that laying around here somewhere. Of course, they're not just lying about where anyone can see them. Maybe they're locked away somewhere. I should probably look in these desk drawers first. This isn't the time to be fooling around. Taking off my glasses, I look at the lines. Using my knife, I cut the lines on the drawer. Inside, there appears to be some old documents bundled together, and what seems to be a journal. First, I look at the old documents. This is my family tree. Definitely. Right after Tonomaki Hisa was written Tonoshiki and Tono Akiha. And right after that, the word Nanaya is written there. My old man. He adopted a son 10 years ago. But he passed away shortly thereafter. 10 years ago. Well, that would mean I was just in elementary school. That long ago. It's only natural I wouldn't remember. Let's see. The heads of the household have pretty short lifespans. My old man died before he was 50. And before that, before 30 in an accident. Before that, 18 years of age with suicide. No, wait a second. No matter how you look at it, this is strange. Looking through the family tree, all members of the Tohno household have died strangely. Madness, accidents, murder, disappearances, stillbirth. Not one of them lived a long life, or even died peacefully. This entire document is filled with horrible fates. Even worse, most of the causes of death are madness. Most of these ended up taking their own lives. That's strange. All of this is strange. But I can't exactly place my finger on it. Next is my old man's journal. I pick up the journal, which has a relatively new binding. Thump, thump. My heart starts to pound. My heart seems to understand that I shouldn't be opening this. But I can't turn back now. Swallowing hard, I open my old man's journal. There's a demon lurking deep inside the Tohno bloodline. The opening statement is in those lines. And that isn't just a simple metaphor. The ancestors of the Tohno were a mixed breed of something non-human and human. Was the library scene also in History Route? I forget. I think this scene was. Something non-human in our human blood. In regards to our blood, there are... Excuse me, I've lost my place. There are those with strong and those with weak non-human blood. Those with weak non-human blood can live their lives as ordinary people. But those with strong non-human blood, can live a normal life. Those with strong Tohno blood are born with special powers. It could be a body that's resistant to death, or it could be an ability to move things without touching them, or it could be fangs used to take bodily fluids from other people. When this blood becomes too strong, the members of the Tohno family start to gradually lose their sanity. The majority of those become demons that feed on human flesh. So, the head of the Tohno household carries the responsibility of punishing those who have turned into such a monster. It's messed up. My old man. What was he trying to say? Writing so seriously about something that's more like a fairy tale. The journal turns more into the old man's rant. The date is roughly 9 years ago. The handwriting starts to get erratic. I'm no longer able to suppress my raging blood. I was able to obtain an orphan from a family of synchronizers, so this should help strengthen my mind. However, it's really only a matter of time before I go insane. It's terrifying. When I come to, I find that I can't even remember half the day. During that time, I'm forcing my inversion impulse on that child. If this keeps up, it's only a matter of time before I completely lose my sanity and turn into a beast. I don't even know how much time I have left to remain as myself. No. If that child is here, then I can probably last a few more years. But the child will not be able to bear that. After that child breaks, I'll have to take my own life. It's incredibly ironic. I eliminated so many things in order to preserve myself. But in the end, I will probably have to commit suicide. Or maybe this is the curse of the Nanayas. I end up adopting his son, but I guess I could not lift their grudge with such a thing. But I can't make up for the events of the past. If death is waiting for me, then I must accept it when the time comes. But until then, I must protect my children. Akia's blood is weak. Unless she wishes it herself, she does not have to suffer the same fate. The problem is Shiki. That child is incredibly close to me. More than anything else, I do not want that child to suffer my fate. If the Tohno blood is unnatural, I need to distance him as much as possible from the Tohno name, and see how he will fare. I let out a deep breath and expel the air from my lungs. I take a break from reading. It makes me sick. The contents of my old man's journal are so far away from reality that it's plain weird. My old man didn't just have manic depression. Rather, he just became violent without his knowing. Just like Tohno Shiki right now. It's strange. But that isn't what concerns me. He writes Shiki and Akiya strangely. Excuse me. Looking back to the family tree, I see that he writes Akiya using the Chinese characters for autumn leaves, while Shiki is written using the characters for 4 seasons. Okay, so I think that's how this translator differentiates Shiki from Shiki, but just like the capitalization, that's meant to... I'm guessing in Japanese, like, just the kanji of their name is different, so that's why, like, that just doesn't translate. It just doesn't. The characters for 4 seasons can certainly be pronounced as Shiki, but the characters in my names are... but the characters in my name are Intention and Esteemed. I have a feeling that thinking too hard about that will be bad, but my train of thought does not stop. What are these synchronizers? Maybe the adopted child? But I feel that's wrong too. Anyway, I've only read halfway through all of this. If I read through it completely, I might come up with a solution. But do I really want to find out? I feel like vomiting. I can't stay standing. Hurry. I must hurry back to my room and sleep. It feels like there's something wrong with my head. But still, I decide to go back reading the journal. The rest of it seems to be a record of some sort. The date starts in the summer of 8 years ago, and about a month after that. I don't understand it yet, but I continue to look through it. Month, day. My son Shiki succumbed to his Tohno blood. Shiki. He killed my adopted son, who happened to be there. The adopted son is the heir to the House Nanaya. I guess it is a blessing in all the unfortunate events that he isn't in the same family as the synchronizers, like Kohaku and Hisui. Shiki's inversion impulse is terrible, so it was determined that he must be eliminated. I have my duty as the head of the Tohno household, but killing my own son is so difficult. The Tohno blood is stronger in Shiki than in Akiha. Talking about potential, I feel an older origin in Akiha's blood, but Shiki's Tohno blood runs much stronger. I assume that's why Shiki inverted before he became an adult. Shiki's powers are immortality and fusion. Shiki could not manage the awakened powers and as a result, killed the adopted Nanaya child, taking his life. I have to say it was a superb job for using his powers for the first time. Month. Day. Both Shiki and the adopted son managed to escape death. Month. Day. The problem of maintaining appearances to a normal society still remains. Shiki has killed the adopted Nanaya child. I've covered up the incident, but Shiki cannot be shown to the public. The wound I gave him hasn't healed, and his figure has transformed. He's not in a condition to be brought in front of the others. As Tohno Shiki, he cannot be called human either. The Nanaya child still lives. As long as he lives, I've decided to use him. If there are any disagreements, I would like to hear them. From the journal? Complementarity. The Nanayas are a family that produces killers. If that adopted son happens to stay alive, the link between him and Shiki may corrupt Shiki's mind. Even if Shiki regains his sanity, I cannot deny the possibility of the Nanaya child's influence turning him into a killer. To prevent this from occurring, we must have him somewhere where we can keep an eye on him. But we cannot allow him near the Tohno mansion either. I should have him raised by an appropriate branch of the family. Month. Day. The Tohno blood has awakened within Shiki. Maybe it's because he was so close to death, but he's regained his sanity like before. But I don't know if something will cause him to invert again. Even though it tears me apart, I cannot allow Shiki near the Tohno mansion either. I place him in the care of a trusted servant. Month. Day. I put my adopted son from the Nanaya family in the care of another branch of our family. Akiha hates me. Akiha has lost both of her brothers at the same time, so I suppose it's only natural. Month. Day. I start to raise Akiha as the next of the household. Akiha has more than enough talent to carry out her duties as the head of the household. Shiki may have the ability of immortality, but Akiha has the ability to plunder. As siblings, both of them have the ability to share and take life energy. It is regretful. If only she had been born 10 years ago, I would have been able to eliminate the Nanayas without the help from the Kishimas. But I have to be careful. Her ability to plunder is a double-edged sword. She might plunder someone's entire concept while plundering their heat. Like me, I have to teach her how not to attract the curse of an enemy. Month. Day. Akiha tried to visit the Arima residence. I cannot let her and my adopted son see each other. I placed her in a boarding school so that her freedom is limited. Month. Day. Recently, my condition has been getting worse. It seems like the daughter of the synchronizers is not enough now. Month. Day. For the first time in a long time, I've come back to myself. How many months has it been since I last picked up this pen? There probably won't be a next time. I'll have to finish writing here. I gave instructions for this to be given to my daughter Akiha after my death. I don't know if Akiha will ever read this, but if she does read it, it has to be destroyed. That's my only request from my daughter to fulfill. What is this? The child adopted 10 years ago. I completely forgot about that. I killed him? That summer day 8 years ago, when I received that wound. He killed me? That summer day 8 years ago, when I received this wound. Nausea wells within me. I feel sick. That memory that I'd forgotten until now runs through my head. I understand. Everything has been written down, so I have to accept it. Besides, everything falls into place. The reason I was adopted by the Arimas. The reason I was disinherited as the eldest son. It's nothing. In other words, I, Shiki, was only a replacement for the one named Shiki. What is this? Cursing myself, I tossed the journal to the side. There's no need for me to investigate any further. Staying here any longer is just a waste of my time. The day ends. Collapsed on my bed. I just keep thinking about the same thing. Thinking calmly. There were only two things I found out from that journal. That I'm not a part of the Tohno family. That the Nanaya lineage turns out a large number of killers. I don't have any blood ties to Tohno Makihisa. In other words, those dreams of murder have to be my own. If that's the case, there's only one thing left to do. I hear voices coming from the lobby. I wonder if Akiha's back. I get up from bed. I want to hear the truth from Akiha. Gathering up my courage, I knock on the door. Akiha, I want to talk. Huh? Nissan? Please come in. Her voice is bright and cheerful. Taking a breath to compose myself, I open the door. It certainly is rare for you to come to my room like this, Nissan. Just like this morning, Akiha has a smile on her face. Seeing that, I just stand there wordlessly, wanting to go back. I guess after all, I have felt that myself as Tonoshiki and my sister, Tohno Akiha, are important to me. But still, there's something that I have to ask her. Akiha. Yes? What is it, Nissan? Akiha appears to be looking forward to a fun conversation. Gritting my teeth, I look at her seriously in the eye. Please tell me about the Nanaya family. I think I have a right to know. In that instant, Akiha freezes like a puppet whose strings have been cut. Akiha wordlessly stares at me. If you won't answer, then I'll rephrase my question. My old man, Tohno Makihisa, had two personalities, right? And not just him. Almost all members of the Tohno family have some sort of illness. I used to think that's what I had. But that's wrong. My anemia came from that incident 8 years ago. Because I know. You were adopted by the Tohno family, right? Saying that, she smiles for some reason. Akiha? Akiha slowly and elegantly walks to the window, as if she was in a play. The curtains billow in the breeze. Placing her hand on the window, she turns around. That's the alone on a Friday night thing. That's funny. Nissan, you were adopted by the Tohno family. Your real name is Nanaya Shiki. As you say, your your health condition is due to the accident 8 years ago. You appear to know already that the members of the Tohno family are different than most humans. Akiha succinctly says the thing that I would have had the most difficulty asking. Akiha, That... It's okay. It was only a matter of time, and I did not like hiding it. Now that you know, there's no need. No. Maybe there never was a need. Then there's no need to put up with any of this. Is that not right, Nisan? Akiha says this with her voice full of confidence. Akiha? So like I thought, Yes. You are the one Father adopted 10 years ago, but you do not remember it. Do you remember Shiki? Do you remember the Shiki who used to play with us? No, I don't. That's right. It's because Father hypnotized you. Shiki was someone who could not resist his Tohno blood. You may not remember it, but that day 8 years ago, you protected me from Shiki. You sacrificed yourself to protect me from the bloodthirsty Shiki. That's how you were killed by Shiki, and Shiki was killed by Father. It's the duty of the head of the Tohno household to dispose of those who are no longer human. Killed? But I'm still alive, right? Yes. By a miracle you survived. You remember what happened afterwards, right? You were taken to a hospital, and the day you returned, you were adopted by the Arima family. That's when Father hypnotized you. You were not fully healed, so your heart and mind was weak. So you easily believed what Father told you. I see. Then, that's enough. Oh, that's her talking? I see. Then, that's enough. If you understand, there's no more need to talk. Oh, I'm sorry. Other way around. Fuck. If you understand, there's no more need to talk. I'm not a member of the Tohno family, right? Then, you don't have to force yourself to call me brother. Soon, I, as an outsider, should leave this place. Don't get me wrong, Nisan. I do not call you Nisan for the sake of society. Do you not remember? Even before you were killed by Shiki, I called you Nisan. It had nothing to do with you being adopted. I knew from the very beginning you were not my real brother. And you accepted that too. So, no matter what you think, you are Tohno Shiki. So please stay here in this mansion. Akiha's words make me happy. But I don't understand. Why does she accept me as an outsider? Why? I'm not even your real brother. Goodness. After I've said all this, you still do not understand? You are the only one I will call Nisan. Even if you do not wish it. I just want you by my side. Because I love you, Nisan. What? Akiha says something totally unbelievable. I'm happy that she likes me as her brother. But as long as the situation remains, I can't be here. No, I'm not the kind of person you think I am. You see, Shiki is a killer, but I'm just a killer like him. A killer? What do you mean? I can't keep it a secret any longer. Everything I did up until now, the dream I had last night, the bloodstains I cannot explain, and that dream where Akiha killed me. I can't trust myself. I thought those were just dreams. But my old man wrote that the Nanaya family were a family that produced killers. If I become like Shiki, I don't know what I'll do to you, Akiha. I lay it all out for her, from the bottom of my heart. But after blinking in surprise, she tries not to laugh. What's so funny? This isn't a joke. You may not believe me, but I really have dreams of sucking people's blood. Akiha is still giggling. What is this? She makes me look stupid. worrying about all this. Yeah, it is funny. See, you can't be a vampire. Because you are from the Nanaya family. Your blood is only human. Besides, the Nanayas are not killers. Certainly from Father's point of view they are, but the only ones that the Nanaya family feel a homicidal impulse towards are non-humans. So what you saw just had to be dreams. And even those dreams are probably Shiki transmitting to you. So it isn't what you want. So it isn't that you want to see them. Shiki transmitted them. Come to think of it, my old man did write something about that. Shiki stole some of my life, so there's something of a link between us. I see. Then who's killing on the streets right now? Even if what I saw is just a dream, there are victims showing up on the streets in reality. The killer is real. I feel like I've met him before. Or was that a dream too? No. Putting that off to the side. If there's a killer on the streets, then... Shiki is still alive? Huh? Akiha, who was giggling until just now, becomes serious. Akiha, in my old man's journal, he wrote that Shiki's still alive. In other words, Father's journal? Akiha tilts her head, curious. My old man wrote that Shiki and I were connected. Then maybe what I saw really were his dreams. No. It's more likely what he's actually doing. That may be a possibility. Father's death was suspicious, and it did seem like someone was being raised in the underground cell. Wait a minute, Akiha. Do we have such a thing like an underground cell here? Oh, of course! Of course! What the fuck? Of course! There are a lot of members of the Tohno family who lose their sanity, so it's only natural to lock them away before they can hurt the outside world, right? Well, that isn't all it's used for. When I got in trouble, Father would lock me up down there. Jesus fucking Christ, really? For some reason, Akiha sounds like she's having fun. A chill runs down my spine. I get it. We'll stop talking about it. We have to do something about Shiki, though. If Shiki really is wandering the streets killing people, then we have to stop him. Is that so? We really do not have We really do not have to concern ourselves about him. We really do not have to concern ourselves about him, do we? Is it not the job of the police to take care of killers? What? Akiha, what are you saying? He's killing people, but he's your brother. He has to pay for his crime, but still. Goodness, Nissan. You're really too nice of a person. Taking a breath, she brushes her hair back. You are my only relative. I do not care about Shiki, so you do not have to worry about him. No, we can't just do that. If you think the police can catch him... Oh, excuse me. Do you think the police can catch him so easily? And before then, there'll be more victims. I will not do anything. That is... Why is there a comma there? I will not do anything. That is not our responsibility. She says this, and looks me directly in the eye. Hey, let's not speak of these matters any longer. Talking about murder and killers is boring, isn't it? I try to tell her that it has to do with our family, but I can't. Her eyes pierce into me deeply. Staring at me like that, her eyes seem to take away my resolution. It seems you understand. Well then, will you return to your room? I just came back from school, so there's things I have to do. Like Akiha says, there isn't anything else to talk about. Still not convinced. I turn away from her. I go to leave her room. And all of a sudden, from behind me, a voice tells me to stop. What is it? Aren't we done talking, Akiha? Akiha stares at me silently. Nissan, you are the most important thing to me. If I had lost my memories of you over the last 8 years, I would not be who I am. Because you were here, I was able to be myself. You are more important to me than myself. So I wanted you to like me always. True sincerity. Akiha looks at me like I'm the only thing she sees. But that's just a selfish request, right? This family and I are just a burden to you. That's why I always feared that you would distance yourself from me. But that's just me worrying, right? Because you came back here. Because you came back for my sake. Ooh, that's not why he came back in this route, though. Oh, no. Oh, that's so awkward. Oh, no, Akiha, no. Oh, no, I feel so bad. Oh, God. She's getting girl cucked by her own servant. Oh, God. Oh. Seeing her smile, my chest hurts. That's right. I came back because I could not leave you here. But now I'm beginning to think I was wrong. I did come back because I wanted to watch over her. But she's wrong. Her eyes are so... Her eyes are so sincere that I can't lie. But Akiha, that isn't the only reason why I came back. I came back for the sake of the child I made a promise with. That's something that's even more precious than my feelings towards Akiha. That's something I can't lie about. Stop it! I don't want to hear it. You came back, so that's that. So anything else, such as your feelings, I do not need. She looks away. Akiha looking down like that, just for no real reason, seems very dangerous. Go back to your room. Please do not look like that in front of me, Nissan. Not knowing what to say, I silently leave her room. The night wears on, and it's almost midnight. It's already way past the time I would usually go to sleep. I lie down and look up at the moon through the window. The night goes by without me sleeping. It isn't that I'm scared of seeing another dream of murder. The killer Shiki wandering the streets. The somehow dangerous-looking Akiha. Thinking of that, I cannot sleep. And just keep looking up at the moon. I'm so thirsty. The last time I drank anything was about 4 hours ago at dinner. I don't want to endure it, so I go to the kitchen to get something to drink. I down a cup of water in one gulp. Why is it so delicious? That's odd. I was just thirsty. The sensation of fluid going down my throat is just like it was last night in my dream. Someone's coming. I can hear the footsteps getting closer. Soft, small footsteps that barely echo in the deep night. Shiki-sama? What are you doing this late at night? Hisui. I was just thirsty, so I thought I'd get something to drink. Shiki-sama, if that's the case, please call for me. At night, you should be resting in your room. Walking around here at night is just not good. Hisui speaks plainly. There's something wrong with her words. Telling me it's not good to walk around at night means she's telling me not to get out of my room at night. No, more than that. Hisui and Kohaku-san have worked here since they were very young. So, it would not be strange for them to know that I was adopted. Hisui, there's something I wanted to ask. Is that okay? Yes, if that is the case, then let us go back to your room. This is not somewhere to be having a conversation. No, this is fine. It's just something small anyway. Hisui tilts her head. I take a deep breath. If she doesn't know, then asking her will be revealing a secret. But I don't intend to hide it anyway. I'll make it short. Did you know that I was adopted? Her shoulder shakes. That tells me that she did know. I see. If you know, then Kohaku-san must know too. What's this? This really isn't a secret after all. Shiki-sama, that is... She says as she lowers her eyes. I'm so very sorry. Even if you are adopted, there's no doubt that you are the eldest son of the Tohno family. Akiha-sama accepts you as her relative, and you are mine and Nasan's master. Thanks. If you say that, then I believe I can stay here. Shiki-sama, please do not say things like that. This really is your true home. I know. That's what I think too. Even though it was for a short while, what happened here when I was a child is very important to me. I can't throw it away. Hisui looks visibly relieved. But I still want to know. Before I came here, it was Nanaya? If you know, could you tell me what kind of child I was? I am sorry. Other than you were the eldest son of the Nanaya line. Other than that you were the eldest son of the Nanaya line. I do not know. Makihisa-sama completely destroyed all the records. I see. Well, if he made me act as Tohno-shiki, then all the records of me as Nanaya-shiki were probably destroyed. But Shiki-sama, Nasan might know something. Huh? Hisui, why would Kohaku know anything? Nasan took care of Makihisa-sama ever since she was young. She may know more about the Tohno family than even Akiha-sama does. Come to think of it, Kohaku-san did say that she was Makihisa-sama's servant. But I thought that was just to take care of his condition once in a while. I didn't realize that she was his servant from that young of an age. That Kohaku-san? Since she played with us every day, I just can't picture her being near my old man all the time. To be honest, Hisui seems like she was more suited for that. Always looking down at me, Aki and Kohaku-san, from the inside of the mansion. Is that true? But that's odd. Why would my old man tell Kohaku-san all the things that he would not tell even Akiha? No, I don't think he would tell her directly. Since Nasan was always near Makihisa-sama's room in the mansion, I believe she had many chances to overhear Makihisa-sama thinking out loud. Always near my old man? But that's what Hisui, who stayed in the mansion all the time, did. Wait. Kohaku-san was always with my old man as a child? Hisui looks down. Something just went wrong here. The feeling of inconsistency comes back, and everything falls into place. Kohaku-san knew about the promise that only Hisui should know about. Hisui forgot about the promise made 8 years ago. But it just might be that I just reversed their roles in my memory. If that's true, then... Hisui... I'll ask one more time. But do you remember about 8 years ago? Yes. About how I gave you that ribbon, right? That's right. After I left my room. Excuse me. That's right. After I left my room, you stopped me by the entrance and gave me a ribbon. Do you remember what color it was? It was white, but what about it? There's nothing wrong with her answer. But she's already wrong. Thud. The power drains from my legs, and I collapse onto the chair. How? How could I have been so wrong up until now? Shiki-sama. That's wrong, Hisui. I was given the ribbon under that tree in the garden, not by the entrance. Hisui gasps and falls into silence. Why? I don't get it. Why did Kohaku-san try to trick me? Why didn't she just tell me that she was the one I made the promise with? Shiki-sama, please, do not tell Ne-san about this. If she finds out, she'll have nowhere else to go. All of a sudden, Hisui says this. If she finds out that I knew you two changed places? She silently nods. Then it was you who played with us. And Kohaku-san was the one in the mansion, right? She silently nods. Why? Why did you act like you traded places? There's no point. Or were you just playing around with me? It was not our intent to deceive you, Shiki-sama. We cannot even fully describe it ourselves how it came to be. It started 8 years ago, after you were adopted by the Arima family. I think I just became calmer than before. Ne-san tried to cheer me up by acting very happy, and then we just gradually traded our roles. But why? Why did it happen? Hisui, you were always so energetic. That's not true. I'm naturally not active. But when you were there, I tried to follow you as hard as I could. Yeah, I remember. That girl who was always cheerful, always smiling. The most free-spirited, who would always worry over us, who put up with the most, who acted like Kohaku-san would if she was younger. Really? I think you'd be cheerful even if I wasn't there. That was your character. Trust me, since I, who followed after you, am saying this. Yes, those days were very fun. I think those were the best 2 years of my life. But something crumbled after you left, Shiki-sama. Akiha-sama started to hate Makihisa-sama, and Makihisa-sama became very strict with Ne-san. The happy days were then over. I gradually became very quiet, and could not even work anymore. So, Ne-san took over for me. Smiling like I always used to. Running around like I used to. In turn, I took over Ne-san's old role. That was the easiest for me. At the same time, it fulfilled Ne-san's only wish. Kohaku-san's wish? I don't understand what she said. Only that Hisui really thinks about Kohaku-san. That's the only thing I could feel. Hisui, what do you mean by her wish? Nason always wanted to be like me, but for my sake, she held back. I think it's just an act for her to work in my place. She pretends to be me and kills her own will. She's just a doll that only acts like a Hisui from the past. I was scared of that Nason. Nason lost her identity, and I realized she was just living by acting out someone's role. I think that if I go back to my old self, Nason will return to her old true self. Nason said this when we first traded places. It's okay, Hisui-chan. Until you become cheerful again, I will take your place. So no matter when, once you're cheerful again, I will give you back your role. I was scared of those words, and I thought I should return to myself right away. But then, by accident, I saw her walking around happily in the garden. Nason really looked happy. I did not know I looked that way back then. But she really was happy, and all she was doing was walking by herself. Nason was only pretending to be Hisui. Even still, she looked so happy. So, Nason does not realize it, but I understood that Nason always wanted to be like that. I could not just destroy that. Biting her lip, Hisui holds back her tears in silence. Shiki-sama, please let Nason stay the way she is. If you do not, she will lose her place. I can only nod to her words. But that definitely is not the correct choice. Kohaku-san has to pretend to be the Hisui from the past, and Hisui has to pretend to be the Kohaku-san from the past to protect that. Hisui's been watching Kohaku-san, who only knows how to live a lie, but still says she will live with her. That has to be so difficult. Shiki-sama, please promise that you will not say anything to fuck. Let me try that again. Shiki-sama, please promise that you will not say anything to Nason. Sorry, her sprite right here kind of looks like the no bitches meme. Fine. But Hisui, are you okay with this? Hisui doesn't answer. Full of conflicting emotions, I get up from the chair. All I can do is leave the downcast Hisui behind in the kitchen. Going back to my room, I notice that the door is open. Did someone go outside? Hisui must still be in the kitchen. That means it's either Kohaku-san or Akiha. To be honest, I want to sleep. My body and heart are tired. I feel like I could collapse if I don't sleep. Just tonight. I feel like if I don't sleep, I'll break. There might be a choice coming up. Yo, can we talk about how fucking smart I am? Can we talk for a minute about how fucking smart I am? Holy shit. I mean, of course I'm gonna go look outside. Like, obviously. I should check it out. I go outside. The previously empty present moon... Excuse me, I just roll back to word in there for some reason. The previously present moon is now obscured by clouds. Huh? Someone is opening the front gate. I start to say something. Akiha? Akiha looks quickly over her shoulder and exits the gate. Thump. Out of nowhere, my chest starts to pound. Thump, thump, thump. My heart seems to pulse with new life. I can feel the blood coursing through my body, and the shaking of my fingers. A chill runs down my back. Despite that, my body feels like it's on fire. Akia, what is she doing this late? I feel dizzy. I try to sort things out rationally, but I stop. Right now, I have to follow Akia. Stifling my breath, I follow after her. Thump, thump, my beating heart. I follow her quietly, to avoid being noticed. Thump, thump, I feel regret. I don't have my knife tonight. The fuck was that? What was that noise? Did you guys hear that? Did that come from the game? I've never heard that sound effect before. That was weird. There's no moonlight, and it's now midnight. There isn't a sign of anyone out in the streets. It was like boo-doo-doo. I think it came from my headphones, I'm not sure. There isn't a sign of anyone else on the streets. Thump, thump. Akia walks unsteadily. I try to silence my breathing and await my chance. Thump, thump. It's taking her a while to be alone. Where she's going is trivial. Thump, thump. I'm terribly thirsty. I'm incredibly excited. Thump, thump. All of a sudden, I lose sight of her. Where'd she go? I return to the main street. I feel instinctively that I'll see her again if I wait here. I let out a deep breath. My heart is still burning. That's odd. This isn't a dream. This isn't a dream. And then why is my blood burning as I'm following Akia? It's like I want to kill Akia. Thump. Sensing something, I instantly conceal myself. Akia is coming. She looks around from side to side as if searching for something. There isn't anyone here, I guess. I hear her thinking aloud. I must be that close if I can hear her. Peering from the shadows, I look out into the street. My head aches. The air around me tenses. I collapse to the ground. I've never felt such pain before. It's so bad it makes me seriously think my skull just split open and I'm going to die. Ouch! Shaking my head, I stand up. I don't know how long I was out, but the night is quiet. Wait a minute. Why am I here? I'm out on the main street. I saw Akia by the gate. And after that... That's right, I followed her. What am I doing? I'm surprised at what I'm doing. Huh? An unpleasant smell pricks at my nose. A smell I've never known till now. The smell that stuck to my mouth during the dreams in these past few days. From that alley. Getting a bad feeling, I run towards the alley. It's like a rehash of my dream last night. In the alley, there's a collapsed stranger. Despite the blood flowing from the neck, the person is still breathing. Everything before me turns crimson. But this isn't a dream. Maybe it's because I've had all those dreams of murder, but I can think calmly. I go out into the street. I go to the nearest public phone and call the nearest hospital. After giving a fake name, I tell the location and condition of the victim, and I hang up the phone. Now, before the ambulance comes, I should head back to the mansion so no one sees me. After running without stopping, I can finally relax. I don't have anything to feel bad about. But I felt that getting involved would be dangerous, and I did the best I could. That person in the alley was still breathing, and the bleeding wasn't that bad, so I don't think it was life-threatening. As expected, running here with all my strength, including up the big hill, was a little much. I'm completely out of breath. Crap. Dizziness assails me. I can feel my consciousness withdrawing. This isn't a normal dizziness. If it's this bad, if I collapse, I won't be able to get up for a while. Damn. I have to get back to my room before... I lean up against the stairs. I manage to take one step up the stairs. That's it, though. I collapse. Holy shit. That was a very eventful chapter. Holy fuck. Okay, so we had a repeat of the library scene, but I feel like there was more information in there than there was in the last one. I may be misremembering, but like I feel like I don't remember there being details about Akiha's specific abilities the last time we read his journal. And we also did not read any of the Kohaku-related entries where she's writing about her being a doll. So he has no idea about any of that in this route. And he learned about the switch with the twins, but he learned about it differently and a little bit sooner than last time. And surprisingly, Akiha was really, really forthcoming about literally everything. Like, that was a weird conversation where like she just like, yeah, I'll just tell you everything. Cool, it's cool, bro. Whatever. That was kind of strange. Thank you, Inu. I appreciate it. Yeah, honestly, like chapter 5 and 6 are kind of like they're okay, but they're not good. But like now that things are kind of picking up, I'm a little bit more invested. So guys, thank you for watching. Inu and Eddie, as always, thank you for hanging out in chat. If you're watching the VOD, thank you for making it this far. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this and other video game stuff. Follow me at twitch.tv/BerserkChip. That's BerserkChip with 2 P's because I forgot the password to my previous account, where I stream live readings and other video game stuff like this. Follow me on Twitter for schedule updates, highlights, and other cool memes and stuff. We will be continuing with Tsukihime, and we are pretty close to the ending. We're at chapter 8. I think there's only like 4 or 5 more chapters left, so we're there. And yeah, that's a weird feeling because this has been such a huge part of my life, kind of. Because I've turned reading this into this whole production. So that's cool. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.